Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Zone. I want to begin today with a very real picture. Imagine you are speaking English with someone, and suddenly your mind goes completely blank. You want to answer, but the word will not come. The silence grows longer. You feel the heat on your face. You think, why can't I say anything? This moment is what many learners call a freeze. And here is the truth. Freezing happens to everyone. It happens in English. It happens in our first languages too. The difference is, in English, you might feel more nervous because you are already worried about mistakes. But today, I want to share one simple phrase that can help you escape the freeze every time. This phrase is short, natural, and used by native speakers constantly. The phrase is, let me see. I remember the first time I realized how powerful this little phrase was. I was in class, and a teacher asked me a direct question. I knew the answer, but my brain needed a moment to organize my thoughts. Instead of standing there in silence, I said, let me see, and then took a few seconds to prepare. The teacher nodded and waited. Nobody thought it was strange. In fact, it sounded natural, almost like I was considering my answer carefully. That was when I understood. Filler phrases are not mistakes, they are tools. So, what exactly is a filler phrase? It is a short expression you can use when you need a second to think. Phrases like, well, you know, actually, and let's see all serve this purpose. They keep the conversation moving while your brain catches up. They show that you are still engaged even if you are not ready with the next word. Among all of them, let me see is one of the safest for learners. It is polite, easy to pronounce, and works in almost every situation. Picture this. Someone asks you, what do you usually do on weekends? Your mind goes blank. If you stay silent, it feels awkward. If you panic, you may give up. But if you say, let me see, I usually meet friends or watch a movie, the silence disappears. You buy yourself a few seconds and you answer smoothly. Suddenly, what could have been an embarrassing freeze becomes a confident response. Here's another situation. Someone asks, what was the last book you read? Maybe you forgot the title for a moment. Instead of freezing, you smile and say, let me see, it was The Alchemist? The phrase gives you just enough breathing space to find the word you need. And one more example. What do you want to improve in your English? Instead of staring at the floor, you can say, let me see, I'd like to practice listening more. Notice how natural it sounds. The listener stays with you, and you stay in control of the conversation. Now, let me flip the perspective here because there's something important you may not realize. Native speakers use filler phrases all the time. Yes, even people who grew up with English forget words or need time to think. They often say, well, let's see, or without even noticing. The difference is they do not feel guilty about it. They accept it as part of conversation. This is the Boog lesson. When you use let me see, you are not showing weakness. You are sounding natural because that is exactly what real English speakers do every day. Let's look at how it changes the flow of a sentence. Without filler, silence, hesitation, maybe a broken answer. With filler, let me see. My favorite movie is Titanic. Smooth and confident. Without filler, long pause, nervous expression. With filler, let me see. I want to go to Paris. Relaxed and clear. The key difference is that the phrase keeps the communication alive. Instead of shutting down, you keep the channel open.
So, how do you practice using it? Start small. Write down 10 common questions in English. Questions about hobbies, family, travel, work. For each one, practice beginning your answer with, "Let me see." This way, the phrase becomes automatic. When you face a real freeze moment, it will come out naturally. For example, question, "What's your favorite food?" Answer, "Let me see. I think it's pasta." Question, "Where would you like to travel next?" Answer, "Let me see. Maybe Japan." Question, "Why are you learning English?" Answer, "Let me see. Because I want to study abroad." Simple, right? But incredibly effective. You can also train your ear to recognize when native speakers use fillers. Watch interviews or TV shows and listen for "let's see," or "well," or "you know." Once you start noticing them, you will understand that using filler phrases is not strange at all. It is part of natural speech. Another tip is to practice with friends. Tell a friend, "Ask me 3 random questions, and I will start each answer with, 'Let me see.'" This is a fun way to build the habit, and the more you do it, the less you will fear silence. Of course, you don't want to use filler phrases too much. If every sentence starts with "let me see," it can sound repetitive. The secret is balance. Use it when you need time, skip it when you're ready to answer immediately. Think of it like an umbrella. You don't need it all the time, but when it rains, it saves you. Now, let's wrap this up. Freezing happens to everyone. It is natural. But silence makes the freeze heavier. A simple way out is to use one safe filler phrase. "Let me see." It buys you time, reduces pressure, and makes you sound calm and confident. Native speakers use fillers every day, and now you can too. With this small trick, you can stop fearing the blank moment and start owning it. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this tip useful, share it with a friend who also struggles with freezing in English. And don't forget to subscribe to English Zone for more practical lessons, stories, and tricks to make speaking easier. Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, sometimes 3 little words are all you need to keep the conversation alive.